I'm going to give away a free t-shirt and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero Show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, I'll touch base on that a little later on, but for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Hey everyone. Now this month is also Military Appreciation Month. It's a time to honor the men and women who are currently serving our country and protecting the freedoms that we often take for granted. And if you're watching this and you are serving our country in any branch, near or far, I want to do more than say thank you. I also want to say that I love you. You know, it's easy to thank someone, but telling them that you love them, that means more. And therefore, I'll say it again. I love you. And this is a Military Appreciation Month Comic Hero tee. And if you would like one of your own, you can find them on IamTheComicHero.com for $17, and I will donate half of each purchase to the Wounded Warrior Project. Now, if you are a man or woman serving our country, and you would like your last name and the branch of the military that you're currently serving in, I will do so with no extra cost. All right, 2 weeks ago was Free Comic Book Day, or as I like to call it, the holiday. I ended up going to buy comics a day before, and I had some books reserved for me, but unfortunately I couldn't get a hold of them until after the next day. So I just got a hold of them a week ago, and I'm about to reveal them. So here we go. First up is Energon Universe 2024 Special. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Free Comic Book Day 2024. Marvel Voices Free Comic Book Day. Absolute Power Special Edition. Ultra Duck Free Comic Book Day. Blood Hunt Free Comic Book Day. The Valiants Free Comic Book Day. I Lie Popeye Free Comic Book Day. Johnny Quest Free Comic Book Day. And finally, Spider-Man Ultimate Universe, Free Comic Book Day. Alright, that's 10, which brings the total number of comics I've bought since December of 1997 to 12,870. Alright, on episode 480, I asked, which Fantastic Four villain once killed Thanos? Well, the correct answer is Dr. Doom. And 5 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, your name's been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... Erica Tucker from Spring Hill, Louisiana. So congratulations, Erica. Give yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for the next week's episode, and this is a Batman question. Which Batman villain has an IQ of 190? 190. Alright, here are the hints. The first hint is that this character made their first appearance in Detective Comics number 140 in 1948 and was created by Bill Finger and Dick Sprang. The second hint, this villain has appeared on the Batman TV series in the 1960s and was played by both John Astin and the late great Frank Gorshin. The third hint, this character's birth name was Edward Nashton. And then the fourth and final hint, and this is a dead giveaway if you're a moviegoer. This villain has been played on the big screen by both Jim Carrey and Paul Dano. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Now, normally I would do a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown segment or an Any Questions segment, but that mystery pop-up segment you just saw, that's not the only one you're going to see on this episode. There's another one, and it can happen at any time. Hey everyone, now this month is also Lupus Awareness Month. Now lupus, also known as systemic lupus erythematosus, is an autoimmune disease that occurs when the body's immune system attacks its own tissues. This attack can cause inflammation and in some cases, permanent tissue damage. Symptoms can vary among people and be mild to severe. They can come on suddenly or develop slowly, and they may be temporary or permanent. Now symptoms of lupus can include headaches, dizziness, behavior changes, vision problems, strokes, seizures, infection, bone tissue death, fatigue, joint pain, rash, and fever. A common sign is a rash over the cheeks and nose in the shape of a butterfly, but not everyone gets that rash. Lupus can affect many different body systems, including joints, skin, kidneys, blood cells, heart, and lungs. Although there is no known cure, many people with lupus can manage the disease with treatment. Treatment includes a variety of medications such as steroids and disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs, or DMARDs. Lab tests are typically required for this condition. Anyone can get lupus, but women get it much often than men. Lupus is more common in African Americans than in white people, and it's also more common in indigenous people and Asian descent. African American and Hispanic women are more likely to have severe forms of lupus. And with that last sentence in mind, I had a childhood friend who I used to ride the bus with to school. And not long after she graduated from high school, she was diagnosed with lupus, and then a few years later, she lost her life to it and left behind 2 young children. And if you're watching this and you have lupus, I'm encouraging y'all to fight. I love y'all. Y'all can do this. I know there's not a cure, but just continue getting treated and keep a positive outlook. And then if you're watching this and you're the family member of someone who has lost their lives to lupus, I love y'all. This mystery pop-up segment is for y'all also. Now this is a Lupus Awareness Comic Hero tee, and if you like one, you can find them on IamTheComicHero.com/shop for $17. All right, now I wasn't able to do an episode this past week, but I have the books for that came out almost 2 weeks ago, and I'm about to reveal them right now. So, let me put this up. Oh, I got a little, almost got ahead of myself there. All right, but anyway, here we go. First up is the Amazing Spider-Man number 49. The Avengers number 14. Batman number 147. Captain America number 9. Captain Marvel number 8. Daredevil number 9. Deadpool number 2. Doctor Strange number 15. Fantastic Four number 20. Shazam number 11. Venom number 33. Wolverine number 49. And finally, X-Men Forever number 3. Alright, that's 13, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 12,883. So, yeah, just look out for it. So that all being said, let's get to the comics I bought this week. Comic books I bought this week. All right, here we go. First up is Action Comics number 1065. Batman and Robin number 9. Blue Beetle number 9. Green Lantern number 11. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 20. Ms. Marvel Mutant Menace number 3. Sinister Sons number 4. Star Trek number 20. Suicide Squad Dream Team number 3. Ultimate X-Men number 3. Weapon X-Men number 4. And finally, X-Men Forever number 4. Alright, that's 12, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 12,895. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Which Batman villain has an IQ of 190? Here are the hints again. The first hint is that this villain made his first appearance in Detective Comics number 140 in 1948 and was created by Bill Finger and Dick Sprang. The second hint, this villain appeared on the Batman TV series and was played by both John Astin and the late, great Frank Gorshin. And then the third hint, this villain's birth name is Edward Nashton. And then the fourth and final hint, this villain appeared on the big screen and was played by both Jim Carrey and Paul Dano. And let me throw this one in, while I'm thinking about it, let me throw this one in. Paul Dano not only played this villain on the big screen, but he also wrote a mini-series about this villain for DC just last year. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Erica Tucker who won a free tee on this episode. Alright, now this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Now there's an emphasis on with this cause with mental illness. Now, a mental illness or a mental disorder is a wide range of conditions that affect mood, thinking, and behavior. Now, the most common types of mental illnesses goes as follows. Now, the first is clinical depression. This is a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. The next one is anxiety. This is a mental health disorder characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear, and they're strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. Next is bipolar disorder. This is a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs. And the next is dementia. This is a general term for the impaired ability to remember, think, or make decisions that interferes with doing everyday activities. And the next is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. This is a chronic condition including attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. And next is obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD. This is a common, chronic, and long-lasting disorder in which a person has uncontrollable and reoccurring thoughts and or behaviors that he or she feels the urge to repeat over and over. And then next is autism. Now this is a cause that I raised awareness of just last month. This is a serious developmental disorder that impairs the ability to communicate and interact. And then the last one is post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. This is a disorder in which a person has difficulty recovering after experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event. Now, for the longest time, there's been a stigma when it comes to mental health and mental illness. And the stigma is that this is just something that goes away, or it's just a phase, or it's a sign of laziness. That stigma needs to stop. That is the most shallow and tone-deaf outlook that you could that could ever be told. I'm sorry, it just is. Because you don't know what these people go through, especially with our good men and women in the military, whether they're currently serving or they're the U.S. veterans. These folks have seen and experienced a lot of things that a lot of us can only imagine. And if you think that it's just something that's just temporary or just goes away, then I mean, I would say, it's easy to say that you're wrong, but to say you're wrong, that's putting it too lightly. I mean, it's just heartbreaking. I mean, it's heartbreaking. So instead of passing judgment on people that go through mental illnesses, maybe it's time we need to start having conversations. We need to start asking questions. Please, sir, please, ma'am. And for all the folks that are watching this and you're going through a storm and you feel that no one listens, I have news for you. There are folks who have the education, they have the training, and all they want to do is help. There is a three-letter number. I mean, there are three numbers you can dial, and that's 988. If you feel that there's just no end in sight, dial that number. Or if there's a clinic in the town or city that you live in, go to that clinic. These people are waiting to help you. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you and say this to just about everyone else I'm just going to say this just like I say this to everyone else. I love you. And your fight is my fight as well. All right, this is a Mental Health Awareness Comic Hero tee. And here on the left sleeve, you have the awareness ribbon, and then there's a semicolon, and then the words "you matter," because you do matter. You matter to me, and you matter to yourself. And then here on the right sleeve, you have words associated with mental health, and then the word "stop stigma," because again, this stigma about mental illness and mental health needs to stop. And again, we need to start asking questions and having conversations. All right, if you would like one of your own, you can find them on iamthecomichero.com/shop for $17, and I will donate half of each purchase to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. All right, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode, I'm celebrating Memorial Day. Now, Memorial Day is when we honor the men and women that have served in any branch of the U.S. military who are no longer with us, whether they were killed in action, or gone missing in action, or prisoners of war, or died later after their services were up. And then on episode 483, it's back, folks. A tradition on the Comic Hero Show every summer since 2019, the Summer of Superheroes. And I'm very excited about it. And again, I'll tell you who the first superhero I'm going to show some love to, and that's Black Widow. This year marks her 60th anniversary. So I'm going to wear a Black Widow Comic Hero tee in observance. A lot of y'all that have been watching for a long time have seen what it looks like. And for those of y'all that are new and have never watched an episode of the show that I've done during the summer, y'all are going to be in for a lot of fun. So y'all tune in, y'all stick with me, and you won't be disappointed. All right, and then lastly, meet me on June 1st from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Earl J. Barbary Senior Convention Center in the very back of Paragon Casino Resorts in Marksville, Louisiana. That's the site of the 4th annual Sinlaw Collector Con. I was a guest and vendor last year, and I have agreed in principle to being a guest and a vendor every year, and you will see me there this year. So if you live near or far, come out support me, come out support all the other guest and vendors there, come out support the con as a whole. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, welcome. And as soon as you're done, hit subscribe. If you're watching this on the Comic Book Lovers Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, go on YouTube and hit subscribe. And if you're watching this on the East Texas Comic Con fans Facebook page, welcome. And as soon as you're done, hit subscribe. You know what? I want to go ahead and say this, and this is also having to do with mental health awareness. But if you, I believe in hard work. I believe that hard work equals respect. But please, sir, please, ma'am, whatever you do, don't work so hard to the point where you burn yourself out. I mean, if you feel the need that you need to take a break, do it. No one's going to fault you. And if they do, then they're part of the problem. Because you're no good to yourself without yourself. All right, I'm Victor Nolly on The Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 482. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and you matter.